everybody out there watching on YouTube, and welcome to race number 33 / chase race number 7? Yes, number 7 of Season 9 NNSCRA Walmart Cup Series competition. I am Levi McIntyre, a.k.a. ThrashManiac99, the voice of NNSCRA Walmart Cup Series, here to welcome you to the Subway Save Mart 350 here at Sonoma Raceway, where this is the first time ever we're going to this track twice in a season, which is pretty interesting. So with that said, let's take a look at how the chase standings look coming into tonight's race. Dylan Young has a big points lead now, 51 points over Carson Gum, 54 over PJ Williams, 60 over Dorian Facepuncher, 83 over DJ Curtis, 87 over David Rivera, 92 over Trent Dunham, 94 over Jesse Setti, 95 over Pichu London, 97 over Tanner Sullivan, 110 over Johnny Gardner, 123 over Katie Cochran, and 126 over John Cittadino. So with that said, let's look at the lineup. Starting in the last row will be Dylan Thoreau and Nick Alton. Starting in the top 10, we got a female front row. Jessica Sheldon is on the pole for today. Next to her will be Katie Cochran. Row 2 will be Zach Flickinger and Devin Becker. Row 3 is Matt McIntyre and Michael Norman. Row 4, John Cittadino and Trent Dunham. And then that's a couple at row 5 with Johnny Gardner and Stephanie Naylor. With that said, let's go ahead and get the command to fire engines for the Subway Save Mart 350 at Sonoma.
Drivers, start your engines!
As we get set for our park pace lap. And after this race, we have only 3 races left in the chase and for the season. We got Talladega next week, which is going to be crazy. Then Kansas, which will be crazy. And then the finale at Armory Digital, which I actually have already made the announcement about that, which will be live on a Friday night. So with that said, boogity, 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 let's go racing! Jessica Sheldon leads the first lap, and she definitely wants to try to keep herself up there because Jessica Sheldon is trying very hard to get her first win in a long time. It's been, I can't even remember what was the last season Jessica Sheldon won a race at. Though she is the defending champion. She did win the championship last season, but didn't win a race. So that brings in the question of whether or not she's going to be able to win this race, because it would be big for her if she does win, and that would be her 10th career win. And we actually got quite a few cars on pit road. Dylan Thoreau, Nick Alton, Chaser, Dorian Facepuncher involved, as well as William Duncan. So something must have happened. And Carson Gums even got damage. Something must have happened right around here in the S's. So you will see on the lower right of your screen what happened. Must have been a big big accident because multiple cars were involved in whatever this was. As meanwhile we complete lap 2 and Jessica Sheldon now leads by 9/10 of a second. Better keep our eyes open. And there, just as I thought, William Duncan gets into Devin Becker. Devin Becker luckily doesn't hit anything and actually is going to be able to... Well, now he's got to stop to let everybody go. He might get teleported if he doesn't get moving. Yep, just as I thought. He got teleported out because he couldn't get going. No need to go on the lower right of your screen. You pretty much saw what happened there. Yeah, William Duncan just got back out on the track too soon and ended up hitting Devin Becker. And Devin was running 4th at the time. Was en route to a potential top 5 finish, but now that ain't gonna happen. As now Devin's stuck on pit road. Hopefully he doesn't have what happened to Katie Cochran back at Thornton, and where he would get stuck, but then they wouldn't let him back out on track, or let her back out on track like they did at Thornton. So hopefully they'll let Becker come back on the racetrack. As Dorian Facepuncher's still on pit road as well. They must be hard at work on his machine. It's back up at the front. Jessica Sheldon leads, but just not really pulling away as big as you would think over Katie Cochran. And then Katie Cochran's got Zach Flickinger right behind. Zach Flickinger, the winner back at Bristol. Having a good day so far. Let's see where the Chasers are currently, where they were scored last time. Trent Dunham was last scored in the 10th position. Dylan Young, 15th. David Rivera, 30th. Katie Cochran, 2nd. Pichu London was last scored in the 16th spot. Tanner Sullivan, 9th. DJ Curtis, 32nd. Jesse Setti, 24th. PJ Williams up to 12th. Carson Gumman, 36th, damaged. Excuse me. Whew. Anyways, Dorian Facepuncher right now dead last and is out of the race now as a result of whatever happened. John Cittadino in 19th, and then finally Johnny Gardner in the 6th position. So we got quite a few chasers running pretty well in the top 10 or top 15. Back up the front, Jessica Sheldon leads, but actually lost a little bit of that lead to Katie Cochran. It's like Katie Cochran and Zach Flickinger are keeping up with the 0-2. So there could come a time where we could have a battle for the lead potentially. Side by side between Jesse Setti and Aaron Henderson. See how this turns out. Whoa, Setti hit a curb. Gets in the Henderson, but they save it and manage to keep going. Devin Becker's still not able to get back on track for some reason. He's pretty much suffering the same fate Katie Cochran had back at Thornton. Meanwhile, Jessica Sheldon's lead continues to get smaller. It's now 3/4 of a second separating her from Katie Cochran. And Katie Cochran trying to go for her first ever win in the Walmart Cup Series. And she's had a very good season in her rookie season. 4 top 5s, 9 top 10s, had been in the top 15 in points virtually all season, made the chase, but hasn't had the best performance during the chase so far. But she's having a great day right now in the 2nd spot as we continue to look around to make sure of no incidents occurring that I might have forgotten about. And so far everything is good and clean and green, even though there's no cautions on for this event. At the line, it is now 4 laps to go, and the margin of the lead actually grew a little bit. Jessica Sheldon now leads by over a second over Katie Cochran, and Cochran's actually getting a challenge from Zach Flickinger behind her. And Katie Cochran also is trying to wrap up the Rookie of the Year championship, as virtually it's been between her and John Cittadino all season long for the Rookie of the Year honors. As we continue to look around the field to see what all is going on, and most of the cars that are in the field are still up and going. Did they actually let Devin Becker back out on track? Because I haven't seen them on pit road. They actually forced the 39 to be retired out of the race. I'm not sure as to why that is, because he had no damage. He didn't hit a wall. He just ended up just having to stop to let cars go by, and now, because of that, he had to be on pit road, and now they put him over the wall? That doesn't make any sense. So at this point, we have 2 cars out of the race right now. Devin Becker and Dorian Facepuncher, with William Duncan 2 laps down. That just don't add up. Becker was not damaged, didn't hit nothing. He just had to stop on the dirt to let cars go so he can get back going. They force him to put the car on pit road, and because of that, they had to put him out of the race? That don't make sense, people. But anyways, Jessica Sheldon right now still holding a slim lead. It's mostly single file throughout the entire field, with a few cars with no hoods, Duncan, Thoreau, and Alton being the primary ones. So now we're coming to the stripe to take 2 laps to go here at Sonoma, and Jessica Sheldon potentially en route to getting her first win in a long time, and her 10th overall in this series, the 2-time champion. Katie Cochran still running second with Flickinger right there. Let's see where the chasers are scored currently, or where they were last scored. Trent Dunham last scored 10th. Dylan Young last scored 15th. David Rivera last scored 29th. Katie Cochran last scored 2nd. As we're coming to through the S's here. Pichu London last scored 16th. Tanner Sullivan last scored 9th. DJ Curtis 32nd. PJ Williams 12th. Carson Gum 36th. Dorian Facepuncher, of course, out of the race. John Cittadino 19th. And Johnny Gardner in the 6th position. As we just came out of the apex, as now we are coming to take the white flag. White flag is out here at Sonoma for Jessica Sheldon. And Jessica Sheldon has had a struggle of a season. Comes into this race 28th in points. Missed a couple races due to falling out of the top 30 at one point. But she made every race since then, got back up there. Has had some good runs since, but she hasn't gotten that win. Well, today could be the day. As long as she doesn't make any big mistakes, she may have this race in the bag. Zach Flickinger still trying to run down Katie Cochran for the 2nd spot. As they just came out of the S's right here. And now we're about ready to enter the apex corner. And all she has to do is make this corner very well and not do anything crazy, and she should be good to go. And it looks like it's all wrapped up, folks. Finally, after a long time of waiting, Jessica Sheldon wins an NNSCRA Walmart Cup Series race again. She wins the Subway Save Mart 350 at Sonoma. It's been a long time coming for Jessica Shelton. It's been forever since she has won a race. And that's her 10th career win, so she now joins the likes of Chris Washer, Chase Oliver, Seth Cole, PJ Williams, Austin Weiner, among the drivers that are now in the double digits in the career wins department for this series. Let's look at the rest of the results. Katie Cochran comes away with a great run in second. She was the highest performing chaser of the day. Zach Flickinger with a solid run in fourth. Matt McIntyre, great run in the fourth spot. Michael Norman with a solid fifth place run. Johnny Gardner, great run in the sixth position. Stephanie Naylor with a solid seventh. Angel Navarro with a great run in eighth. Tanner Sullivan with a solid ninth. And Trent Dunham with a great run in 10th. Rest of the top 20 was Cody Lamas, P.J. Williams, Alan Cavagnaro, Austin Mongold, Dylan Young, Pichu London, Charles Sanford, James Qualls, John Cittadino, Anthony McCrory. Rest of the top 30 was Anthony Ritchie, Tim Walsh, Aaron Henderson, Jesse Setti, Jonathan Zorline, Chris Washer, Zach Rogers, Preston Blord, David Rivera, and Chase Oliver. Rest of the lead lap cars was James McLeod, DJ Curtis, Sean Galligan, Seth Cole, Mason Powers, Carson Gum, Joshua Collar, Dylan Thoreau, and Nick Alton. William Duncan 2 laps down, and 2 cars out of the race, Devin Becker and Dorian Facepuncher. Well, that does it for our coverage today here at Sonoma. We got 3 races left to determine a champion. Next week we head to Talladega, then Kansas, and then the live finale at Armory Digital. But until then, here are your results, rookie points, and regular points heading into Talladega. And this is Levi McIntyre, signing off.